thanks everybody for coming out today. I do have a little short speech here, and then we'll try to make this as quick as possible, but to be honest, I can probably stand out here and talk about this all day, so bear with me. So thank you for coming. This is a very historic day in Gibsonburg, Sandusky County in the state of Ohio. Today's very exciting. I'm very happy to be able to share this experience with all of you. Today we put a shovel in the ground and take another step in the right direction for our future here in Gibsonburg. Gibsonburg was devastated in the 1980s by the loss of the lime plants. Those closures meant hundreds of jobs lost and an economic engine in this town that no longer existed. The impact of those closures rocked everybody in this village. Every business and every family was impacted by those. Over 15 years ago, Village Council purchased the ground that you're standing on today that we now call Clearview Industrial Park. In 2013, Village Council took the initiative to make this site shovel ready and put us on the path to where we are today. It's been a long road to get here, and it's one that's had its challenges and come with criticism. Over the course of the last 2 years, Village Council, Mark and myself have made this site our #1 priority and work consistently to lay the framework to get us to where we are right now. I want to say thank you to both the councils present and past on the work that you did to make this possible. Thank you for all of that work. The last 8 months have both been exhausting and exhilarating at the same time. I sat down this week to try to figure out what I was going to say today, and so I went back to my email and my calendar and tried to put a timeline together of just how fast this whole thing came together and what we did in a short period of time. So it was pretty fast and it was pretty furious, and so I want to go through some of that timeline here today to let you know just how much went into this. So I called a little bit the 242 days of standard wellness. Is kind of what I have written here on my paper. So on a tip from Fremont Mayor Danny Sanchez, I made a cold call to Kevin Murphy on the afternoon of April 12th, not knowing where this would go, if anyone would pick up, or where we would be at the end of this. You know, our journey would begin 6 days later on April 18th when me and Mark met with Eric for the first time. You know, little did we know that day would set the tone for our future for a long time here in the village and change our lives forever. As we met with Eric for about an hour, we did our best to sell him the reasons why he should be here in Gibsonburg and why he should become part of our family. At the end of that meeting, we stood about a few hundred yards away down the road here. We looked out over the field. You know, we thought we did pretty good. We thought we did all we could do to hopefully make a pretty good pitch for the village. And I remember one piece of that, and it stands out in my mind. I know it stands out in Mark's. Is at the end of that, Eric stepped forward and he looked at the piece of ground that you see today that you're looking at, and he looked at it and he said, you know, a year from now I can really see my building here. I tell you, I don't know if you saw the look on my face, but I was like a kid on Christmas. It's like, oh man, okay, here we go. So we thought we had a pretty good stance. We thought we did a pretty good job of getting there, but we knew things were not in our favor. We knew it was going to be a long road to get us to where we wanted to go. So fast forward a little bit. This is where you need to buckle up, because this is where it got a little crazy, a little fast. So on day 16, Eric made his first presentation to Village Council. On day 23, Village Council agreed that this was good for the village, and we passed a series of ordinances to make this happen. On day 38, I signed paperwork with the help of the CIC for the purchase of the ground, and on day 71, Standard Wellness submitted their application for cultivation in the village of Gibsonburg. And then we waited, and we waited, and we waited a whole lot more. You know, we've been here for months. When is the license coming? When is it coming? It's been the most popular question here in town for everybody. And I know Eric's been driving himself crazy, wanting to know when it's going to drop. We text back and forth constantly. So on day 226, 155 days after the application went in, November 30th, we got the call that they were successful in getting a provisional license. Which brings us to today, day 242. So we're here today to break ground and celebrate our future, and it's been an amazing 242 days. I wouldn't trade it for the world. It's been an experience of a lifetime. So, ever since the news broke that the Standard Wellness was going to come here, early in the summer, people kept asking, how did you pull that off? How did you get them to want to come to Gibsonburg? It wasn't me, it wasn't Mark, it wasn't the village, it wasn't the council, it was all of you that made this possible. The village, its people, its culture, you made this possible. We just did our part. We talk a lot about the Gibsonburg way around here, the way of life, that culture, that motto. We believe very strongly that we have a very special place here. And the opportunity to be a part of that, be a part of that family, I think really sold Eric and the Standard Wellness team that this is where they wanted to be. So today we put shovels in the ground to break ground, to start the next phase of this journey. But I want to not forget the real winners in all of this. Yes, we're getting much needed industry here in town. We're getting jobs, we're getting some financial benefit to the community. But the real winners are the patients that are going to be affected by what we're going to do here at this site. The few 100,000 people in the state of Ohio that are going to have the opportunity to take control of their own health care and give themselves an alternative to the dangerous opiates that we see ravaging our county and our state. This is a very good thing. You don't have to look very far to find a loved one, a friend, a neighbor who's affected by one of the 21 conditions that'll be able to they'll have this medication available to them. It's gonna change the way Ohio looks at treating certain conditions, and I'm super proud to have been a part of that. I'm proud to stand behind Standard Wellness and their mission. I'm proud of the fact that they now call Gibsonburg home. I'm going to turn this over to Standard Wellness CEO Eric Vaughn.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve. Thanks to everyone for coming out today. We couldn't be more excited to officially become part of the Gibsonburg community. And the theme of today is thankfulness. We have so much to be thankful for. Looking back over the past 8 months, we are so thankful for the tremendous outpouring of support that we've seen from the village from top to bottom. From village council to the village administrators, of course former Mayor Ed Herman, who's been a great supporter, Police Chief Whitaker and Superintendent Tim Murray both vetted us very hard on the front end, and once we got their approval have shown us unwavering support. And of course all the residents that came out and signed, over 1,000 in total in Gibsonburg and the surrounding area that came out and signed our support letter. It just meant the world to us. Looking back 2 weeks ago, we're so thankful for the great news that we got from the state that gave us the green light to start construction on this world-class facility here in Gibsonburg at the Clearview Industrial Park. It was worth the work and it was worth the wait. And so today, we're so thankful for this milestone and for all that it means. It means that we're all a part here of something much bigger than ourselves, much bigger than any individual. And we got some stats there. In 266 days from today, the first patient in Ohio will finally have access to this medicine with the supervision of their physicians. And we get to be a part of it. And you know, this is a historic time for Ohio, and with it comes a great deal of responsibility. And our mission from day one has been to set the standard in quality and care for these patients, and we're just so thankful to have the opportunity to put the plan in motion. And so, looking forward with those responsibilities in mind, we're so thankful for the Standard Wellness team, for all of you that have shown up today, for those that couldn't make it out today, for those that could have made it out today but maybe were smart enough to wait until the ribbon cutting this summer when it'll be a little nicer. But either way, we couldn't have gotten here without all of you, and the work is just beginning, and we're over 70 people now on our roster of management consultants and advisors, and we can't wait to see that number grow as we finally bring on our full-time employees from here in Gibsonburg and the surrounding area. And of course, Mayor Fote's always going to be humble, but we are so thankful to be partners with Mayor Steve Fote and Village Administrator Mark Glotzbecker. There is no Standard Wellness in Gibsonburg without those two. And let's hear it for those two. Without their vision, without their leadership, without their hard work, and without their hometown pride, none of this is possible. And you know, we pride ourselves on being a research-centric organization, and so after the last 8 months, I have a substantial data set of what it's like to work with Steve and Mark. Through daily communications in May and June, weekly all summer, back to daily for the last 3 months, I can say with great confidence there's no two people I'd rather go to work with. So with that, the time for talk is over, time for action is here. And on behalf of the entire Standard Wellness team, I want to say thank you, and I want to say let's get to work.